Hello everyone, my name is Eric Dugan, and I am running for re-election to the Lynn School Committee. I'm a lifelong and proud educator. For the last 20 plus years, I have dedicated my professional career to teaching and educational leadership. I have also volunteered in many aspects in our city. Both of my sons enjoy sports, and I have volunteered in many capacities in the youth sport programs throughout the city. So I bring a perspective of a community leader and professional educator to the committee. I believe this perspective is critical to balance out the committee. My wife, a teacher in Lynn Public Schools, and I have raised our two great children in Lynn and are proud to call Lynn our home. Both of my children attended the Lynn Public Schools and had a great experience. They both graduated from classical and are both doing very well. The Lynn Public Schools had a lot to do with that. If elected, I will be serving out my third term. When I look back on the first term and a half, I'm proud of the accomplishments that have been made by the current school committee. And I believe that I've played a big hand in these improvements to the Lynn Public Schools. First, the work on the new Pickering Middle School is progressing. The school is projected to open within the next couple school years and will bring much needed modern learning spaces to LPS. Not only that, but this new project will help alleviate the overcrowding in our middle schools. The plan to redistrict at the middle school level has already been approved, and it promises to bring manageable class sizes for our students and educators. Next, as chair of the policy subcommittee, I have worked on and endorsed policies that have made positive impacts on the schools in Lynn. These policies, I believe, have made our schools safer and more engaging for the students. The most recent policy is our updated cell phone policy. For this, I worked closely with our state delegates and got valuable insight from them as what it is potentially happening at the state level. As some of you may know, there is state legislation in the queue that will encourage all districts in the state to develop policies that ensure that cell phone use by students is limited from bell to bell. Our new policy does just that, and it puts Lynn ahead of the curve in this respect. I believe that we developed a policy that will make our schools safer from cyberbullying and limit distractions that cell phones can cause in the classroom. The policy is on the more moderate level. This means it's not a complete ban on phones in school, just off and out of sight during learning hours. It leaves room for our students to be able to use phones outside of learning time to coordinate schedules with families, which I know from experience can change frequently. Another big improvement that is coming is our funding to extracurricular activities. In the last budget that the committee passed, we increased the line item for our extracurricular activities at all of our high schools. This is an example of the priority I believe that should be put on extracurricular activities at our secondary schools. Not only that, but this change was driven by the students themselves, who spoke up about the inequities they see when they travel to other districts due to Lynn's past inadequate funding. So it is also an example of how this committee has elevated the student voice in our schools. This is also a very positive change. Finally, there have been many facilities upgrades since my time began on the committee. With the purchase of the old Eastern Bank building by the city, the school committee that I am a part of has approved many upgrades that will benefit LPS. That building will essentially be a brand new campus for LPS without having to do any new major construction. The building will now house the Frederick Douglass Collegiate Academy. This is an early college program that has expanded under my time on the committee. When students graduate, they not only have a high school diploma, but they have potential to earn enough credits for an associate's degree as well. Another example is the old Briar Cliff building on Linfield Street. Again, without any new major construction, we have been able to add a campus to LPS. This is now the state-of-the-art home for our Teams program. These students now have the much-needed space to learn and grow. And finally, during my time on the school committee, we have added many much-needed full-time preschool seats that have greatly expanded our early childhood programs on Bessem Street and now Bennett Street. This is a significant gain for the whole City of Lynn. And while those are a few of the highlights of things that I've been a part of during my time on the committee, we still have some major work to do. My vision for my third term starts with our students' performance gaps. If elected, I hope to spearhead initiatives that will help close the gaps that our students still experience in relation to other communities. And though I try not to put too much stock in standardized testing scores, This is a clear weakness that it needs to be addressed within our students in Lynn. By working with our administrative team on best practices in the classroom, I am confident that we can close these gaps. Next, I would like to see us continue to work on pathways post-graduation for our students. While we have made major gains here, there is still more we can be doing. For example, using partnerships within our own community more effectively for our students to be able to intern in a profession of their choice, especially in the later years of high school. And finally, and some may say most importantly, we need to fully staff our schools. This means making Lynn a more attractive place for educators to come work. Our students deserve to have full-time teachers in front of them daily. Too often, our staff doesn't stay in Lynn. The goal moving forward needs to be to find out why this is so and really work on retaining the most talented teachers that we can. So clearly, I have a lot more work to do. And the only way I can do it is with your support. It's a crowded field with some very qualified candidates, and I'm gonna need your help. So please vote Eric Dugan on Tuesday, September 2nd in the primary, and again, November 4th in the general election. Send me back, and let me continue to be the leadership students deserve.